Okay, so I find this quite fascinating. And that is, remember this chart? So as we are now said to be in fourth dimension, which is second density. So let's not worry about the densities. There are 5 densities in our universe and 15 dimensions. 15th is the highest dimension, which means at that level it's the highest. We could also, somewhere it's known the frequency level of that. Like from that frequency level to that frequency level, it makes up 1 to 3 dimensions, 1 to 3. Then fourth dimension until 6th dimension. It always goes in threes. Makes up frequency from the bandwidth from this hertz, because frequency is on our planet here now is measured in hertz. So and as I think it's hertz, and as I said, it's the amount of spin of the electron around the nucleus. I've said that 1,000 times, I know. I don't know though if, because that's how the Christ, the Christ Merkaba auric field is measured by the spin of its top tetrahedron and the spin of its bottom tetrahedron in the opposite direction. So yeah, I don't know if that, because it is the actual spin, I'll just tell you. I have to find it. Yeah, here it is. The top spin, and I don't know if it's left or right, but the top spin is that which spirals upwards, which lifts. It's a levitational spin. It's 33 1/3 and 1/3 of what spin is. Didn't write that down. No, here. 1 spin equals rotations per trillion per nanosecond. So that's why I said rotations of the electron around I think the nucleus in time. So that's what it is. And so this would be 33 trillion rotations, 33 1/3 trillion rotations per nanosecond. That would be the top part of the Christ. And the bottom part is 11 2/3 spin. Now coming back to here, let's just stick with hertz, because that's how we've been measuring frequency from our perspective on our level so far. And I don't know if that's the same thing, but I know that it does. It's just, if it's not the same, it's just not the same system of measuring the same. Okay, it's just another system of mathematics then, of measurement, of thresholds. Or as Nassim Haramein calls them, event horizons. Now I understand what that word, I understand it now. So, we're said to be in 4, hot on the heels of 5. That's where we're going. And that means that as we approach 7, because 7 is in the next higher octave of density and is in another dimension, is actually 2 dimensions higher from 5th, obviously. But the thing is that what happens at 7 is that we step into the oversoul, into the monad soul. And it is 12 souls, which is also then, 1 soul per human being. So it is 12 of beings in a form, in a humanoid form, or at least in a form that has this level of consciousness, like similar to what I have now. But it doesn't necessarily have to have, I would think, human form. It could also be, as I mentioned, the oversoul doesn't have to incarnate, because one oversoul has 12 souls, and all that collective of 12 souls, they don't necessarily need to incarnate with it on the same planet. Maybe not even necessarily in the same solar system. So what's fascinating is that we're like already hot on the heels of 5. So we're approaching 7, and as we're approaching 7, because now everything's going faster, that would mean consciousness at the level of 7th dimension is aware that it is aware of itself as a monad, as an oversoul, or at least it's very, very much in the process of becoming aware of itself, and maybe it's first fully aware of itself as an oversoul in 9th dimension. But that would also mean that it knows the 11 others, the 11 other beings, souls, and maybe they're not all incarnate either. But it would know then that we're a part of the one oversoul, the one being that makes up this collective. So as we are approaching that, it would only make sense that it is a part of also, as we are getting to know the other parts to our collective, because it's ever greater collectives, right? It is then 12 oversouls. I got it wrong. I got it exactly the opposite. It's 12 oversouls. Oh boy, I'm so bad with numbers. Oh my gosh, it's all so clear. The math is so perfect and I can't get... Anyways. Oh, that's why. Because I was coming at it from one rishi, because there's just one rishi has 1,728 souls in it. It's like a collective of 1,728 souls. And so 728 souls, that they have one, humans have each one soul. So that's 1,728 souls. And 12 souls make one monad soul. And a 144 monad souls. Oh God, no! It's always 12 times 12. Okay, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like where I don't have a mind for that, even though it's so simple. It's mathematics, you know. But that's just what I wanted to say, is that it would make sense that these collectives that we are a part of are starting, we're just starting to become aware of the other life forms in the universe, and that they're actually here, that they're actually, that we can connect with them, and that as we rise in our frequency, we will also have the chance at some point to actually meet them. The ones on the spaceships, we have to be ready to meet them. It has to be the right time. We have to be prepared to take in all that. That's what's happening right now. I mean, that's part of the ascension process, because if they, they vibrate too high, it's just too difficult for them to come and see us, to come into such density, and I just find that fascinating, that now I know I am a part of this collective, and that there are 11 other souls that I share an oversoul with, and so forth, avatar, and then that I share one rishi with. Well, there's 1,728 souls that I share one rishi with. And there are, I don't want to get into it. Okay. Yeah, and so that's really exciting. That's why I'm going to leave it at that.